Hey guys, in this video I'm going to be showing you the best way to make gold in Season of Discovery without actually farming. So let's get right into this. So the method that we're going to be talking about is by actually flipping on the auction house, so playing the auction house. Now you're going to need one add-on to do this efficiently and to do it properly, and that is going to be TSM, which is is known as Trade Skill Master. Now this is an add-on that is going to give you price data for all of the items in the game. You also can do a bunch of really useful things when it comes to flipping with this add-on. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how I personally make gold with flipping and how you can also do the exact same thing. Now it's very easy to do once you figure it out and you have everything set up. So I'm going to be showing you how to do that and how I personally am making a lot of gold with flipping in Season of Discovery. So let's get right into this video. Alright, so first of all, you're going to want to download TSM. Now once you have TSM downloaded, there's a few things you want to do to set up your TSM to work for you when it comes to flipping. So first of all, you want to head over to the tooltip settings and you want to copy the tooltip settings that I have set up here. Mainly the ones under auction DB, and this is going to show you all the different price data for a specific item. So we'll show you the min buyout price, the recent price. Now with these right here with the market value, I like to have this one selected, so market value and trend. This will also give you a percent sign of how much it has went up or down recently, just so you know what the trend is for the specific item. Now I do the exact same thing with the region market value. You want to also have the trend selected for this one. So normally it would be selected as this right here, just the region market value, but you want to select the region market value trend. This will give you a percent sign, as you can see over here. And now to actually see this data, all you're going to have to do is hover over an item. So let's just open up the auction house for an example here. And as you can see, if we look at the tooltip right now, we have all the different price data under TSM auction DB. And it also has the percent after the market value and also after the region market value average. This is just useful to have so you know what the item is doing for the last few days, and you know if it's going up in price or down in price. This is just a good thing to be able to keep track of. Now also you'll see if you go up one column higher where it says TSM accounting, it's also going to show you the purchased price. So this will be able to help you keep track of how much you paid for the specific items. Now once you have that set up in the TSM settings, you're going to want to have some groups. So as you can see right here, these are the groups from my classic flipping guide. Now this is made exactly for Season of Discovery. Put a lot of time and effort into making these groups absolutely perfect. Now at the moment, they're really set up for phase 1, but every single phase I will be updating these. So if you'd like to get your hands on these groups, which have over 8,000 items so far just for phase 1 in them, if you would like to get your hands on them, you can get them inside of my flipping guide, which will be the first link down below in the description box. However, let's go over these groups just a little bit. So how I have this set up, we have the BoE gear, and then we have it all sorted out for phase 1. And then under that, we have it even more categorized. We have a group with the BIS items, the pre-BIS items, and high demand items. We also have a group for the epic BoEs, the rare BoEs, and the uncommon BoEs. We have the exact same thing set up for the weapons also. We also have materials set up for every single phase, so you know you're actually flipping materials for whichever phase we are in at the moment. So for an example, we're in phase 1, so we're mainly going to be focusing on flipping, like doing quick flips on the phase 1 materials. If we start to flip the phase 2 materials when it gets a bit closer to phase 2, that is kind of more investment flipping, which can work very well. And honestly, a few of the items in phase 2 materials are already selling. People are stocking up on these for the future phase, which is going to come out very soon. Then also for the recipes, I have them sorted out once again for the phases. So phase 1, phase 2, and then phase 3 and 4 are paired together. So when you're flipping the materials, you obviously want to be focused on the phase 1 materials. These are going to be selling a lot quicker and a lot easier than the phase 2 or the phase 3 and 4 ones. So let's get into a bit in depth on these groups. So for an example, what you want to do once you have your group set up, now you can make your own groups, but if you really just want a head start, to flipping, I would recommend getting the flipping guide, and it will actually teach you in depth how to do flipping, how to set up TSM, and the main thing, you'll actually be able to import my TSM groups and operations. So you'll be able to have these exact groups with the operations. Now the operations that I have set up for the flipping guide, they're actually set up in a way where it will only post items at a profitable price. It will keep track of how much you've paid for a specific item, and it will only have you post them at a profitable price. And also it will undercut any competition if it's at a profitable price. And for an example, if there's no other of the item posted up on the auction house, it will try to get the most profit it possibly can out of that item for you. So once you have these two things set up, it's very, very simple how you're actually going to find items to flip. So you want to head over to the auction house and you want to open up the TSM tab. So you'll have this tab right here. You can open this up and you can select the groups. So for an example, let's start off doing some scans on the BoE gear and weapons for the BIS, pre-BIS and high demand items. These can be some of the best selling items in phase 1 at the moment, and also some of these have the very best prices. Now you can obviously make a lot of gold flipping the other items, like the other rare items and the other uncommon BoEs, but these items right here are your big boy items that are going to make you your majority of your gold, and you can make a big amount of profits off a single item. So let's go ahead and start off by scanning these groups, and we'll see what items are in these groups at the moment that we can actually go ahead and buy to resell and flip for some profit. So once you begin the scan, what it's going to do is it's going to scan through all of the items in the groups. On the side here, this is the market value percent. So for an example, if an item was at 100% of the market value, that means that it's pretty much priced exactly where it should be. If it is over the market value, like these ones right here, it means it is actually overpriced. Now, if it's below 100%, that means it's slightly underpriced. So the more under 100% is the better of a deal to actually buy at the moment. So what I like to do, you can click on the percent sign and you can sort it from the lowest to the highest. And this will sort it out by the market value. So this way, everything that is the best deal and at the cheapest possible price will pop up at the top. Now, I like to do this so you can just sort from the top and work your way down. Now, when buying items to resell and flip, I like to keep items around under 70% of the market value, preferably under 50% of the market value to buy them. This will give you enough room for some profits from these items. So obviously you want to start from the lowest percent because this is going to be the best deal and you'll have the most amount of room for some profits. So we'll do an example with the BoE gear. I will show you a bit later in this video how to actually flip materials, which is a bit different. So when you're buying BoEs, you don't want to be buying like 30 of the same BoE to change the price. What I mean by that, if we click on this item right here, for an example, the Slayer Cape, we see that one is at 22% of the market value, which is 23 silver, and the next one is 39 silver. Now, if we really wanted to change the price of this item, we're going to have to buy like 10 of these Slayer Capes, all the way down to pretty much buying them all out. And that would allow us to change the price and reset the price for this item. So what I recommend personally is not buying over like 10 of the same item when you're flipping BoEs or the recipes. So the best deals are deals where, say it's got 1 or 2 of them posted for a really good price, then the rest of them are a high price. Because what we'd have to do here, we'd have to buy all of these out before we could reset the price, and the market value is around 1 gold. So there wouldn't be much profit in the last few ones here that are posted for 64 silver. Now we could do it. This is actually a very quick seller and a good item to flip, but you would have to buy out a lot. Now what I personally would prefer to do with this, just so we can know that we only have like 1 or a few to sell, what you could do right here for an example is you could just buy the first one, which is listed at 23 silver, and then you could repost it undercutting the next person at 39 silver. This way you don't have to buy like 10 of them, and then because what will end up happening is that you're going to have to sell all 10 of them, which may take some time. So personally, with this exact item that is up here, what I would do is I'd buy it for 23 silver, and then I'd undercut this next person at 39 silver. Let's go ahead and grab that item. and we'll just continue the scan. But that's a good tip that I like to give anyone that is into flipping. You want to be careful not to have to buy especially 30 of the same item, because this will take you time to sell. If you're just buying a few of the items, say under 5 of one item, this way you know you're going to sell them within the day or within a couple of days. And you're better off having quick turnover than sitting on a bunch of items that may take a while to sell, because you don't know what the price is going to do from, say, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks from now. The price could go down on the item that you've just brought, say, 30 of. So that is why it's always safer to find flips where you only have to buy a handful of that item to change the price. I'll see if I can find another example right here. So this one would be a good example. See how you've got to buy all of these before the price is actually reset to a good profitable price, which is at around 1 gold. So you'd have to buy a bunch of these. Now, I personally would not recommend doing this, because you're going to have to obviously sell all of them, which will take a long amount of time. So if we can find one that pops up that is on the auction house at the moment, where we only have to buy a few, I'll show you an example of that. So we'll let the scan finish, and then I'll show you an example. If there is an example at the moment up on the auction house, I have recently just been doing some scans and buying some items, so there's maybe not too many flips left up on the auction house. We'll just have to wait and see. So here's a good example of an item where there's not too many posted that you could do a nice easy flip on. So as you can see, there is only 3 posted of this item. There is a stack of 2 right here, and there's also 1 stack right here. Now these are posted for 1 gold and 67 silver. We look at the market value, it's around 3 gold for this item, so we know we could double our money. However, because if we buy out all 3 of these, there's going to be no more up on the auction house. So how the TSM groups are set up, if there's no other competition, it's going to go for a lot higher of a profit margin. So what would actually happen if we brought these items out, all of these or 3 of them, we would buy them for around 1 gold and 67 silver, and then we'd repost at 4 gold and 38 silver. Now we don't have to keep track of what we're actually going to sell it for. The TSM operations that from the flipping guide will do that all for you. So it's all set up in a way that it will calculate what is the best price to sell these at, and also to do a bunch of different things. So this would be a very good flip to do right now. And obviously this is in the BIS, pre-BIS and high demand group, so we know we're going to be able to sell this very easily. So what we'll do right here is we would buy all 3 of these out for 1 gold, 67 silver, and then repost them at 4 gold and 38 silver each, which gives us a lot of profit from each one of these. So let's go ahead and do that. Here is another item. So these right here, as you can see, there is a decent amount of these ones posted. Let's just have a count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 of these posted. Now there's a few that are posted around 1 gold and 40 silver, and there's a couple posted at 1 gold and 99 silver. What we could do with this, for an example, is we could buy all of them out except the one that is posted up in the auction house for 4 gold and 68 silver. We could buy each of these for around 1.5 gold, and we could repost all of them each for 4 gold and 68 silver each. So there would be a lot of profit in those. So let's go ahead and buy these out. They're also way below the market value, so they're a very safe flip to do. Let's go ahead and grab all of these, scroll down to make sure we're not buying the one we shouldn't be. So we have 2 more to buy. Let's go ahead and buy these. 1 more to buy, and we're going to repost them all at 4 gold and 68 silver. Here is another item that is definitely worth flipping. If we look at this, we clicked on it, and as you can see, someone already bought all 4 of them out, so someone actually beat us to it. That's another tip that I should give. While the scan is going, you can actually buy out the items. This will prevent anyone buying them out before you that is also doing flipping. Another item that could be worth doing, there isn't too much profit margin in this, so I don't know if we'll actually do this. Now, you don't have to spend all your gold just because you have gold. The best thing to do is just buy the best of the best flips. This way, over time, you'll make a lot more gold than just buying items that have a little profit margin. For example, an item like this, you could make a decent amount of gold of each of these flips. For an example, they're posted for around 6 gold. The next highest ones are around 8 gold. So you'd make 2 gold profit of each of these that you sell. So if you have a lot of gold, you could actually buy these out, and you could buy all the ones for 6 gold and then repost them, undercutting this guy right here at 8 gold each, giving you around a 2 gold profit each one of these that sell. Now, these are obviously in the pre-BIS and BIS category, so they would sell extremely quickly. So just because we have a lot of gold, we're going to go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and buy these out. There's 2 gold profit of each one of those. We might as well. They are very good pants and they will be able to sell very easily. But if you're short on cash, you don't have to go ahead and buy them all out. Now another thing here, if you look on the bid column, someone's actually got the bid for only 14 silver for a pair of these. So what we'll actually do with that one, we won't go ahead and buy that out. What we'll do is we'll actually bid on it, because if we can get them for 14 silver, there is massive amount of profit to be made from that, and we'll keep an eye on that. Every time that we get outbidded, we'll just go ahead and bid a bit more, and we could bid it up to say around 1 gold, and that will give us a lot of room for profits. Now for an example for this video, if you run out of deals that are the best of the best deals to buy, you can rescan the group, and this will rescan all the new items that are up on the auction house. This is a good way to find new items that have just been posted. For the example for the video though, what we'll do is we'll jump over and we'll look at some of the other groups. So we just want to scan the rares that aren't in the BIS, pre-BIS or high demand group. You can find some hidden gems in these. I also like to pair this with the uncommons, so this is all of your greens. Now this is where you can really find some hidden gems. By scanning this, there are a lot of items in this group. For an example, up in the auction house at the moment, there's close to 8,000 items in these groups. So this is in your rares, which are your blues, and also your greens. Now these aren't in the previous or BIS groups, so they're just like your normal blues and then all your different sorts of greens. Now you can find some really good hidden gems in these groups. They are a big scan. So what I'd recommend doing while this scan is going is to actually go through the items that pop up that are low compared to the market value, go through them and see if there's any good deals to buy. Like for an example, we could go ahead and buy these. We could buy them for 29 silver, repost them for 39 silver. Or if we wanted to take it a step further, they are pretty decent boots at level 23. What we could do is we could buy the ones all out all the way up to 74 silver and then repost each of ours at 74 silver. So that is definitely what we're going to do. Let's go ahead and buy these also. Now we're going to repost all 3 of them at 74 silver each. Now we can continue the scan. Anything that pops up, we can go ahead. As you can see, there's way too many of these posted on the auction house to mess around with. Would have to buy out way too many. Here's actually a really nice flip to do right here. There's 2 posted for 1 gold and 24 silver. The next highest is 2 gold and 24 silver, so a full gold higher. We could buy these 2 right here. We could repost at 2 gold and 24 silver each. Let's continue the scan. Now another really good sort of item that I like to buy, as you can see, there's only one of this item posted up on the auction house. This one right here. If we look at the prices, the market value is only 36. It is a bit high, which is 79% of the market value. But the beauty of buying items where there's only one on the auction house, you're going to have no competition. So how the operations are set up, they're going to try to get the most amount of profit out of this sort of item because there'll be no competition when posting. So what you could do is you could actually buy this, even though it's pretty high, close to the market value. We're going to be reposting this for 54 silver because there is no competition up in the auction house. So I'm happy to buy that. Now the best sort of flips are to find them flips where there's only one of that item up in the auction house, but it's way below the market value. So that was 79% of the market value. If you can find them under 50% of the market value, you're going to be able to have a massive profit margin on them sort of items. So as the scan goes through, I'll go through every single one of the items. If any of them are worth buying, I'll go ahead and buy them. But for the sake of this video, let's go ahead and I'll show you a bit more about the groups. Let's go ahead and check out the recipes. So with the recipes, you want to be searching, if you want quick turnovers, like quick flips, you want to be doing the phase 1 stuff because that is the current content. So all of these recipes that it's going to scan are for phase 1 and people are buying them a lot more consistently than like your phase 2 recipes and things like that can't actually be used yet. But obviously the phase 2 stuff is still selling for people stocking up on those and other people investing in them, and you can still make some decent profits flipping those, but I would highly recommend sticking to the phase 1 stuff. So as the scan goes through, it's going to bring up a bunch of, well, all of the good recipes that are worth flipping. It's the same thing as the BoEs. You don't want to be buying say 30 of these just to reset the price and change the price on these. If you can find ones where you can just buy a few, and there's a lot of room for profit. They're probably the best ones that you're going to be looking for. So we'll let this scan finish up, and I'll see if I can find some nice recipes to show you an example flip on. So here's an example of an item where there's only one posted on the auction house, which I was talking about before, and it's only at 23% of the market value. So would buy this for 5 silver and then would repost this for 34 silver. Let's go ahead and grab that. So they're like one of my favorite sorts of flips, because you don't have any competition and you can control the price that you posted for. Here's another example. Now, isn't the biggest profit margin because it is a kind of cheap item, but these ones sell extremely quickly. As you can see, there's a bunch of them posted for 6 silver, and then the next group of them is posted 15 silver. So we'd buy all of them out, even the 2 that are posted for 9 silver, and then we'd repost all of ours, undercutting these people at 15 silver each. So it's basically the same sort of thing as if you're flipping your BoEs. For sake of the video, let's move on, and the final thing that I'll show you is how to flip the materials. Now, materials are very different. Materials, you can actually buy big quantities of these items, and that is some of the best ways to actually flip materials, is by doing what they call a market reset. This is where you buy a certain item or a certain material all the way up to a price you want to reset the price to. So we'll let this scan go through, and obviously all these materials are from phase 1, so they're going to be selling the quickest and have the quickest turnover out of all the materials in the game at the moment to flip. Alright, so just for an example, here's an item right here. There's a few posted at very low compared to the market value. If we go ahead, what we could do is we could buy all of these up to where we could either go a bit below the market value, so around here is a good point, or another thing where materials, say there is a stack of them where there's like a bunch of them posted, and it's at a kind of high price, I would stop there. So what we could do, and what we will do for this example, is we could go from 48% of the market value and would go all the way down to 96. And then what we'll do is we'll buy all of these out and would repost all of them at 116% of the market value, which is 29 copper. So let's go ahead and buy all of these out all the way down to where there's a big stack of them, which is right here around 116% of the market value. There's 2 stacks of 20. We do not want to be buying those because they're already they're over the market value already. So we went ahead and bought all of these out. Now with the ones that we brought, what we'll do is we'll come in and we'll resell them at this price right here. That is basically how you market reset. That was a small example of an item that isn't worth too much. I'll let the scan finish. We might be able to find one that has a bit better of a market reset to do with a bit more profit. For example, you do the same thing here. Is there any massive stacks? There isn't any massive stacks, so what we would do with the tiger's eye, would buy all of these starting at 57% of the market value, and we could go all the way down to 100% of the market value. So we'd reset them all the way to the market value. Now I like to either have it close to the market value, the reset price, or a bit over it. You don't really want to be resetting it to like 200% of the market value, 300%, because people will post under you, and a lot of people don't want to buy items that are way too over the market value if they're using it for professions and whatnot. So we're going to reset it to 100% of the market value, where the price should be for this item. Now, to make even more profit with this, you obviously do this with items that are a bit more valuable, and you buy bigger amounts of them out. But that is basically how it works for the items. We did show an example of like some of the cheaper items, but if you do that with the more valuable materials, then you can make a lot more profit. Now, materials that sell very quickly and in big amounts per day are the best ones to do a market reset on. Let's go ahead and grab out the items, and I'll just show you how it works actually posting them. With the TSM operations and how they're set up, it is extremely easy to resell or to post the items. So let's go ahead, let's grab out all the items that we just brought in these examples for the video. Alright, so we've got our items out of the mailbox that we just brought to flip. Now what we want to do is head over to auctioning right here, and we want to select all of the groups. So every single group from the flipping guide, they've all got operations set up for them. And then what we want to do is just click on run post scan, and then it's going to post all the items at a profitable price and the prices we want it to be set for us. So what we can do now, as you can see, there's a few right here with the materials that says not enough in the bags. That just means for that specific stack size, how the operations are set up for materials, it will actually post them at all different stack sizes, because some people are looking for a specific stack amount. So this is completely normal and what you want to see when you're posting with the operations. It just means, for an example, with the tiger's eye, we don't have enough to do the 5 stacks, the 20 stacks, or the 10 stacks. But if we look right here, we have enough to do the 1 stacks and the 3 stacks. So by seeing this, don't be worried. This is exactly what you want to see. All the items in our bags will actually get up on the auction house. All we got to do is either spam the post thing, the post button, or if you have the TSM macro set up like we do on scroll wheel mouse up and down, we just scroll our mouse up and down, and this will post these as quick as possible. So as you can see, all the items getting posted up the auction house. Now another tip, it only posts for 2 hours. This way we can save as much gold on deposit costs for posting on the auction house as possible, giving us as much profit for every single item that we post up on the auction house. And just like that, we have all of our items that we just brought up on the auction house extremely easily, and now they can be selling and making us profit. As you can see, we've already got some sales which are coming in very nice. And now the last thing that I want to show you is how to do a cancel scan. So we've had some of the items, like 400 of our items, on the auction house already for the past hour or so. I put them up just before we started the video. So what you want to do is you want to have all the groups selected, and then you want to run a cancel scan. Now this is going to scan all the items up on the auction house that you have posted, and it's going to allow you, if you've been undercut, for an example, we've been undercut on these boots right here, it's going to allow you to actually cancel scan them and remove them from the auction house. So you do that, and then you grab them out of the mailbox, and then you repost them back up on the auction house, and this will have you being a more competitive price and undercutting anyone that has undercut you. Now this is very important to do if you want to see a lot of very quick sales. We are only posting for 2 hours, so cancel scanning and removing the items to repost them isn't required, because within 2 hours all the items are going to be off the auction house anyways, and you're going to be able to repost them at a competitive price. So it is up to you, but if you have enough time to actually go ahead and do that, I would recommend doing cancel scans. You'll see a few more sales, not a crazy amount more, but you will see more sales for sure. As you can see, the materials that we marked reset, they're already selling, and these will sell very quickly. Some of the BoEs also will sell extremely quickly. Depends what time of the day it is and if people are looking for that specific item at the time. However guys, this video has already been long enough. If you would like to learn more in depth about flipping in Season of Discovery, you can find exactly how to do that inside of my flipping guide. You'll also will get access to my TSM groups and operations, which you can import into your TSM, and you'll have the exact groups I'm using that I've put a lot of work, effort and research into making them as perfect as possible for phase 1 of Season of Discovery. You'll get those with the flipping guide. Very easy to import them. You just add them to your TSM and you'll have everything set up ready for you to go. On top of that, it'll also give you access to a private Discord where I personally can help you out with flipping, plus a bunch of other very useful and helpful people that will help you out with flipping also. Now the flipping guide is also set up if you want to do some flipping in Classic Era and in Classic Hardcore, and then obviously also for Season of Discovery. And if you want to go ahead and get that, it will be the first link down below in the description box below this video. But that was it for today's video. Hopefully you learned a lot about flipping, and good luck going out and making a lot of gold from flipping. And I'll see you in the next video. Take care.